It played that song again. Wait, no, we already listened to that one. No. We need another one. Here we go. Here we go. Ah, very nice. I'm still here. I'm just typing. I'm typing to my moderators and making fun of them. Stop teasing you? What? All right. Here. I'll just skip. There we go. My summer. My summer. It's a good song. Okay, I think it's time. All right. That's enough of that. We can blame my mods for being late, specifically one mod. Hey mate, guess who's? I bet you can't guess which moderator is. I bet you can't guess. You can't guess which bloody moderator is. Oh hey, no, we weren't talking about you, mate. No, not at all. Nah, serious, it's not Mr. Drummer for once. It's not Mr. Drummer. No, not him. It's not. It's the other bloke from those bloody isles where you all live. It's the other one. For once. Here, look at this. Look at this picture from Yak. From the singing yak. The singing yak buyer. Look. Dragon, good evening. May have gotten a call an hour ago from that company I visited with an offer. Alright. So wait for it. for it. There it is. We're almost there. I'm in my happy place right now. Nice. Is that a chainsaw? Just I got one more. I got one more. This is for you, Dragon. I got one more. I know. It's great, Tessa. And no, the first one was not a Ferrari. That one was. That won't mute the VOD, Shy. We're good. Are you out of coffee and trying to replace it? No, I already did that. What was the first one? Well, I'll just do an impression of the driver that drove that car. I'll just show the mustache.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Jesus, late 90s intro music sucked. Serious, is that your generation's thing, just hating everything else? You know what sucks? Not living through the 90s. I lived through the 90s. The 90s were killer, man. It was awesome. It's a good time. It was a good time. Formula One cars were awesome. They were super freaking dangerous. People died. It was fantastic. Not the dying part. Try the 80s. Now, Jimmy, I came in at the tail end of that party, okay? But from what I can tell, it looks like it was a really good time. It looks like it was the rager of all ragers. You know what I'm saying? Like this. Like that, you know. Whip it good. Dude, I listened to Devo this morning. Correct that whip. It's great. 80s called, they want their Hasselhoff back? No. No. We need Hasselhoff now more than ever, Animal. No, because I grew up in a time where PC consoles had real sound chips in them, not that MIDI crap. Imagine thinking that, you know, more digitized music is better. That's You're a funny one. You're a funny one. You're a funny one. Nice. Oh, one of these turned up on your doorstep today. You gonna put that on the floor too? A few bucks to support a great stream. Thanks, Tech. Appreciate it, sir. Thank you, buddy. Tech, you hear that? You hear that crap? You hear that crap? He wants more digital music. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'm about to get my guitar and lay down power chord right in Sirius's face. Right, just... Alright, alright, hold on. I can only play like 2 seconds of it, but... Okay, we can only... Yeah, that's it. Might have to get the Hofner bass out and crank it, my guy. Working on the plane some more? That's right, Magic. You're not making my job at getting this to YouTube any easier, are you? No. 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 Did you manage to figure out the drag problem? I think we got it under control, Dragon. I have to redesign the entire thrust structure on it. Believe it or not, that flight test did give me a lot of good data. It's just, yeah, we gotta, without putting like the main fuel tanks in, it's tough. It's tough to really figure out exactly how the thing's gonna work. But I will say, getting that big lumbering beast to 900 meters a second at Mach 2.7, even with a little bit of infinite fuel glitching, is still pretty freaking good. That's it's pretty good. Eddie's Tech, I miss that guy so much. That's one celebrity death that actually really bothered me. That and Neil Peart, that sucked. Dude, Tech, it's so bad that I'm like, every time I hear a Van Halen song, I'm like, oh man, I'd love to see these guys live. Damn it. You know, I totally, dude, it's like, nope, no, that didn't happen. Nope, nope, I'm burying my head in the sand. Dude, it's 2023. You can live in whatever world you want to. Eddie Van Halen's still alive, okay? So is Neil Peart, okay? All right? All right, and David Crosby, too. Yep. And Lemmy. And Lemmy. Yep. He was editor for his high school newspaper. George Harrison. Now that, yeah. John Entwistle. Bowie. Yeah. Dragon, I'm not the biggest Bowie fan. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the music, but yeah, that really screwed a lot of people up. Trebek, well, he's not a musician. He's just Canadian, which is fine. Have you ever heard Motorhead's 1916? No. Yes? Maybe? Honestly, with things like Starship and others on the horizon, I hope we dust off old projects like SPS. That would really make our lives better. Now, Aqualex, you seem like the kind of guy that would know this. Is it possible to... So microwaves are what? Super high frequency, right? Super high frequency. Super high frequency. God damn it. It's happening again. Freddie. Oh, Freddie. I listened to Queen this morning. Super high frequency, right? Is it possible that we could use optical to beam power? Or is that not am I not thinking about that right completely? Good afternoon, delicious folks. Oh, hey there, bud. How you doing? How's things up in the Great White North? Oh yeah, I heard you got some of that rainstorm today there. Oh, that was a real mad storm. It was really pissed off. Microwaves are one of the best ways. Optical is bad for power. Because I was going to say Starlink uses beaming between satellites, but that's not power, that's data. SPS would be baller, man. That would be a good project. It'd be more scattered by the atmosphere. Yeah, gas diffuses light, for sure. The X-27B tested microwave transmission. What's that, Tech? What you got for me, buddy? Microwave wireless power transmission is the technology that uses microwave devices to convert electrical energy into electromagnetic energy and wirelessly transmit microwave electromagnetic energy in space through a transmitting antenna, and converts electromagnetic energy into electric energy and supplies it to the electrode after rectification. That would be nice. The higher the frequency, the more emission, and the tighter the transmission. Okay, idiot question. Another idiot question. If there's a giant, like, phased array antenna on a huge solar panel that's floating up in space, right? And you just pulse that phase array, you could do wireless power transmission, right? But people would be fried by microwaves. Am I understanding this correctly? Look up radio occultation. Things would get toasty because microwaves agitate water, and we're made of water. That's... Want a sunburn? There's also a problem with its intensity. A bird could fly through an SPS power beam, not as much as if it were a laser. Aqualux, stop humping the laser. Honest to God, why don't you and the giant laser get a frickin' room, for God's sakes? Hey, Busted, what's up, dude? That was a 9-monther in there. How you doing? What you been up to all summer, man? Been just chilling or what? Sharks with freaking laser beams on their head. Fun fact, the military is a microwave cannon for crowd control. It's just enough to give people a burning feeling in their stomach, but not enough to cause damage. Yeah, I don't want that. I mean, that's pretty cool, Hellfish. Yeah, okay, cool. Weather guy, did you see the weather up here this morning? I know that's kind of a weird answer, or a weird thing to ask. Any new suggestions for KSP2? Yudi, I would really like better editor controls. No, let me check. Oh, it got a little rowdy up here this morning. It got a little rowdy. From what I could tell, not a meteorologist, we had 2 cold fronts moving like this, like one right after the other, and then a warm front intersected the cold front. That, oh, that's not good. Get any naders? No, just radar contacts. No touchdowns as far as I can tell. They had a tornado touchdown in Providence. One driver hurt when the car tossed. Oh my goodness, dude. Tornadoes. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, here, look at this. Dude, yeah, this was from this morning. It was a little rowdy. This was this morning. It got a little rowdy right in this area here. You could see look at that. Look at the front. That's nut, dude, it got nuts. It got nuts. It rained a lot. 3 words for you. West Coast hurricane. Cyclone. Cyclone? Cyclone? No, I know. Yeah, just being a dick. I know. That's my house in the rowdy. Dude, Snow, same with me. Same with me. Dude, like, we got the bad part of it right here. Like, once that's Plymouth Bay right there. It got a little rowdy. Yeah, like Florida tropical storm rowdy. Yeah. It was in Johnston on the 295. Damn, dude. No, it's a hurricane that came up to the Atlantic Category 4. The Earth's mad. Derail Valley update. Ooh. Oh! They added tractive effort booster units. Oh, yep. Alright. Alright. They added the booster units. Fantastic. Oh, this is fantastic. Did you read about the NASA lithium battery stuff? NASA may have just cracked the code for replacing lithium in batteries, double or even triple the energy. Solid-state architecture batteries for enhanced rechargeability and safety. Sabers. What's the anode and the cathode? If there is one. They don't. Now I got Motorhead stuck in my head. No voices in the sky. Was there a flash flood with the rain? Failures? Yeah, there was some pretty nifty flooding, but like, there's like rolling hills once you get near Cape Cod. So I'm like on a hill, and all the water, the street looked like a river. It looked like a river. The water is probably like 1 to 2 inches, so like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 centimeter. But there was a lot of water. I'm just really happy it went away from my house and over there somewhere, like not near my house, you know. Hope nothing was damaged. I had to air it out. I had to go around and. So we woke up to severe thunderstorm warnings. It blipped on our phone and stuff. And there was a tornado warning north of me. So that's good. So I was like, oh, frick, I gotta get up. And then I was kind of like racing to batten down the hatches and make sure like the garage is good and then make sure the outside is good, right? And then like I was like, we gotta get in the basement. And we went into the basement and hung around in the bulkhead for 45 minutes. That was fun. They were like, it's probably not going to be here, but it might be near Plymouth, so you got to be... I'm like, All right, weather guy, yeah. Tornadoes in Massachusetts, this is fine. Climate change is certainly not a thing. I was actually reading about that. The derail update's cool. I was reading about it. Oh, that's cool. The slugs. Yeah. Tractive effort boosters, man. It's basically a locomotive without any cab. Without no cab. Ain't got no cab in it. That's cool. That's really neat, actually. Ooh, ray tracing. Nice. I'll have to read about that later. I was actually reading about... It was a thread from... Who wrote that thread? It was a thread on X about geoengineering. It was by Hank Green. He has an awesome mohawk, not for the right reasons, but he has an awesome mohawk. He has this cancer. Anyway, so basically there was like I blazed through it, so I probably shouldn't talk about it because I didn't understand it fully. But essentially, there were like everyone put limits on like sulfur emissions for container ships, and the interesting thing is that so sulfur dioxide, so sulfur emissions, right? Sulfur emissions were basically going up into the atmosphere, and they were not preventing like climate change, but they were keeping the climate like on a relatively stable equilibrium. And the fact that they banned all sulfur emissions last year means that sulfur dioxide left the atmosphere as we wanted, but because the sulfur emissions were basically they were, I forget what it was. I want to say it's a greenhouse gas, so they were keeping heat in the atmosphere. Like the atmosphere is changing like crazy because nobody has sulfur emissions anymore. And this is the result of that, which is nuts. Like, oy. You get that bad storm? Yeah, Hammernails, it screwed up my entire morning. It creates clouds. Yeah, that's what it does. Sulfur was seeding the creation of clouds, which is blocking sunlight and cooling. That's what it is. It reflects the light energy. Yeah, I want to say greenhouse gas, but it didn't. I knew it didn't like keep heat in. It did something else. Yeah, that's also a big one. The volcano that erupted, basically, the Tohutunga volcano put so much steam into the upper atmosphere that it's screwing with the climate really badly. Yeah, steam is absolutely a greenhouse gas. How's Starraker doing? Bucket! What's up, man? It's getting there. We have a lot of work to do today. But yeah, it was super interesting. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say like, oh, look, we changed something and now we screwed with the, we screwed with it. We're already screwing with it. Like, it's pretty obvious, but Earth is a little extra wet right now. So yeah, it's interesting that we changed that, right? And that and the volcano, right? Which is pretty nuts, dude. You're having a lot of rain. Where my city is 140 plus days, no rain. DJ, it is. I live in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, I live in the Pacific Northwest. There's a national forest near my house, like right behind it, or a state forest, right? And there's these huge evergreen trees, and it's been just damp and mild for like all of August. July was a scorcher. It was hot every day, but it's been super damp in August, and I feel like I live in Portland. Hey, Jared. 18 months. I tell you what, we sell rockets and rockets accessory, boys. Some storms out west can look otherworldly. Yeah, it's cool, man. That's an anvil cloud. One probably here. I don't want to look at the whole footage, but look, anvil clouds, right there. It's funny. It looks like an anvil. I know, crazy name, right? So it's not just a clever name. See that? That's bad for rockets. That's bad for most things. It's not an anvil cloud? Sure looks like one. What is it then? Oh, nice, Sean. That's cool. At VIR. Nice, nice, nice. It's a supercell thunderstorm. Okay. All right, weather guy. Feed me. Feed me. What's the difference? It looks like an anvil cloud. What's the difference between a supercell and an anvil cloud? Other than the name. I know there's a reason. I'm not saying that they're the same thing. I want to know the difference. What's the difference? Anvil's cloud is formed when rising air meets the equilibrium level, neutral buoyancy. Supercell is related to an anvil cloud, though. No. I don't know. It hits the equilibrium level, then spreads out. No way someone named Weather Guy has the authority to speak about this. The anvil is probably obscure. This is so hard to explain in chat. All right, Weather Guy, you have Discord? On the topic of beam power, microwaves are a much wider band size than the entire optical band. They picked a low wavelength for SPS, so it wouldn't affect anything, any person or even aircraft. Cool, cool. Jump in Discord for me. Channel 1. I'll drag you down into the stream room. Let's do this before we jump into KSP. And now we're going to Weather Guy with the weather. It's going to rain. Thanks, Weather Guy. Look at the shot 15 seconds into the video. I was positive that was an anvil cloud because it looked like an anvil, but it's clearly not. Probably related, but not the same thing. Isn't this called a cumulonimbus cloud? It's a supercell, I guess. I'm waiting for my, I'm waiting for my weather guy. I'm waiting for my weather guy. He's coming here. See, last for an anvil cloud. Yeah, it's very interesting. Common EJL moment. Serious, every time you talk is an L moment. L plus ratio plus timeout. How'd you get down in here?
I don't know. What am I doing?
How'd you get in here? This is password protected.
I just joined channel 1. I think someone dragged me in here. I'm not really sure. Hey, EJ, how's it going?
It's going good, man. So, supercell anvil cloud. Tell me. Talk to me, Goose.
All right, so what you're looking at, first of all, yes, that is a cumulonimbus cloud. Basically, a cumulonimbus cloud is a fancy word for a thunderstorm.
Got it.
And a supercell is a type of thunderstorm. It's a type of thunderstorm with a rotating updraft. The term for that is mesocyclone.
Cool.
The reason why that's important is because when you have a rotating updraft, that organizes the flow. So you actually get a stronger, or in other words, a faster updraft. The other thing that you want to see is that updraft sort of tilt. Basically, an updraft is the rising air starting from the surface going up, right? And as it goes up, it condenses, forms a cloud. Now you got a storm. Cool. In a normal, general, lame thunderstorm, it probably just goes straight up, and then it'll start to rain, and that rain goes straight back down into the storm and helps to dissipate it. Those don't live too long. A supercell, if it has an angled updraft, basically throws the rain outside of the storm so it can live a lot longer.
Oh.
It's more organized, and it's stronger. So that's where you start to see like larger hail and more organized things like tornadoes. Tornado forming or tornado genesis gets complicated, but in general, supercells are where you see the most severe weather. You can get tornadoes in other types of instances, but the big ones will usually only come from these.
Okay. Huh. So, okay, all right, idiot question. So, if the conditions for a tornado, you need high and low pressure mixing, right? It's like a vortex coming off of a wing, right? It's similar idea? Or no? Am I not in the ballpark at all?
Not quite.
Okay.
Here, let me pull up some visual aids. Basically, you know how there's this concept of like a warm front and a cold front? This is on a larger scale, right?
Yeah, okay. You got the picture? You want to see a picture?
I'm working on it.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, here we go. I'm just going to toss you a Wikipedia thing.
I don't have this screen share on right here. Let's just see the linked picture. All right, what do we got?
So this is a big picture, what we call the synoptic scale. Synoptic just means larger scale, like on the order of the size of our country, basically. Okay. Or like a region of our country. And so you get an area of low pressure, and this is a very idealized case.
Yeah,
you get an area of low pressure, and air goes cyclonically around the area of low pressure. Basically, if the wind is blowing at your back, low pressure is at your left. Don't worry about that picture.
No, I know that the picture doesn't have much. I'm just clicking around. Okay, so
look at the.
Why does it go around the low pressure? Wouldn't it diffuse into the low pressure?
So what we call this is what's known as normalized flow or geostrophic flow. Basically, you have what's known as the pressure gradient force. Because you're right, air wants to flow from high to low pressure.
Yeah.
But as that air's spinning around, it also has a centrifugal force. Basically, the air particles want to spin out because of that.
Yeah.
So in normalized or geostrophic flow, those forces are balanced. They're equal. And in the upper atmosphere, more or less, that tends to hold true. On the surface, when the air starts to interact with the ground and things on the ground, it slows down and it deflects about 30 degrees to the left or inward. And so, yes, that's when you start to get the air converging into that area of low pressure. And at that point, the only place it has to go is up.
Huh.
So the reason why I brought up the Norwegian cyclone model, if you go back to the series of greenish graphics, this is as this type of thing evolves. The cool thing about the atmosphere is, even though this is the big picture, what you see on like the thunderstorm level is almost the same thing, just a much smaller scale. So here we have a warm front and a cold front, and these will be on the order of sizes of states.
Okay.
And if you were to zoom in on that center of low pressure, it would mostly look the same on a smaller scale for the individual thunderstorm. The thunderstorm would be the area of low pressure itself because it's literally sucking all of that air up. And then you have what's known as a rear flank downdraft. So some of the air gets shot out ahead of the storm, some of the air gets shot behind after it goes up, hits the equilibrium level, goes out. You see that anvil cloud there. It also has to come back down in the form of rain or hail.
Yeah.
At that point, it's much colder, it's much denser, and so it sinks and it crashes. This is what's known as the rear flank downdraft, and as it hits the ground, it spreads out and it forms a cold pool. And so it really looks the same thing as the Norwegian cyclone model, just on a smaller scale. Let me see if I can find a better picture of... Yeah, here we go.
Hey, but...
All right, there's another big link for you.
Okay, let me see.
This is an idealized supercell.
Yeah.
And you notice how it looks like the same thing. You have the same symbols there.
Yeah, okay. So in the picture here, that the turbulent clouds in the back, is that the downdraft part, or am I not looking at this right?
Not quite. So I'm going to put this back in chat. That's a diagram of a supercell. What you're looking at there is what's known as the rock hard updraft, because you have water vapor condensing, a lot of it pretty rapidly, and it gets that nice crisp look. Yeah. That's really what you're seeing there. Okay. So all of that is part of the updraft. Those striations that you see are clear evidence that it's rotating on the lower part of that, yeah.
Okay, so like just above and to the right of the tree, those really straight clouds, that's the rotation? Right
Yeah,
there?
Those are striations, and they're not going to be rotating all that fast. In fact, those air particles probably wouldn't make it all the way around the thunderstorm. Yeah, so it's rotating, but it's like visually deceptive.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good example of just a general supercell thunderstorm.
Okay. Dude, there's a lot more stuff going on up there than is that beats the eye, I guess.
So one of the things that we teach people is that you often think of a thunderstorm as an object, just a thing that exists in a moment in time.
Yeah.
A thunderstorm is more like a process. It's a living thing. And so all of these things are happening in tandem to sustain itself.
Uh-huh. So it's like if a hurricane goes over warm water and then it hits land and it breaks up, right? It's not like it changes, right? It's a dynamic condition.
It is. Hurricanes are a different beast entirely.
I know, that was just an example, but yeah.
But yeah, things change, especially topography. Like hurricanes really want warm water, and then as soon as they go over land, that warm water was their fuel. And no, I do not teach pilots, sorry. And so once you remove that fuel, the whole system starts to dissipate. That's why hurricanes rapidly deteriorate once they make a landfall.
So with a hurricane, the warm water is creating warm air, and that warm air rises, right? It goes up, and swirly stuff happens from there?
Well, for hurricanes, it's more than just the warm air. It's warm, moist air. All of that moisture. I mean, you're talking about waters that are like 80, 85 degrees, and so it's just pumping. It literally is an engine. It's just pumping all of that warm, moist air into the atmosphere.
I'm wondering. You say it's like an engine. I'm wondering if it's like a
Carnot heat cycle. This gets a little sophisticated, but it's talking about, basically you put fuel into a system and you're combusting that fuel, right, in a traditional engine.
Yeah.
Some of that energy is going to spin the tires, but some of that energy is just coming off in the form of heat, right?
Yeah.
So not all of that energy is going into work. The Carnot heat cycle kind of talks about this in terms of efficiency, in terms of like physics.
I was gonna say that sounds like a Stirling cycle to me. Here, let me load this up. Tessa, it sounds like a Stirling cycle. It sounds like a Stirling engine. That's basically what you're. If I'm understanding this right, probably not, but.
Let's see here. I'm not sure what TH and TC are.
Let me back it up. It's hot and cold, yeah. Temperature hot, temperature cold, excuse me.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you,
So this is probably looking at a graph of efficiency.
Yeah, it is. It's an efficiency graph. But yeah, it goes, hot and cold, and it uses the difference in temperature. A Stirling engine uses the difference in temperature to cycle. That's its action.
Okay, I got it.
Sounds kind of similar, but not exactly the same. I mean, one's an engine.
It's kind of similar. They're going to share the same principles,
Yeah.
right? It's all thermodynamics.
Yep.
So it's going to share the same kind of thing, but
Yeah, here.
I think what I was thinking of
Okay,
is
go ahead.
like the process that describes what you're showing.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit more low level.
Yeah, but the fact that okay, all right, this is me connecting some neurons over here. The fact that the atmosphere just kind of does that, that's pretty cool. We got to fly through that. That's fun.
The atmosphere likes to spin.
Yeah, it do be spinning though. That's freaking cool, man. I didn't think we'd do this so quickly, but I was like, you know what? I don't know what that is. Let's figure it out. Let's go.
This is why when I'm trying to explain stuff in chat, I struggle. I'm like,
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard
okay,
to
I
do.
got 2 sentences out, and I have like 3 paragraphs to go.
It's tough to do when
Yeah.
via text.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, I get that similar problem. Like if I raid somebody's stream and they start asking questions about KSP, I'm like, okay, gotta type fast,
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, and then the conversation shifts, and you're like, oh, damn it, no, crap.
It's a game of speed. You got to stay on top of their questions as they just rapid fire them at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Tessa. Hey, look, if you ever have these kinds of questions come up, reach out, and I'll be more than happy to join in if I can.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. So, hey, all right. Well, I got you. So okay. I was watching the news while we were in the basement, right? And this morning, if we back this up, here we go. This morning,
Those left and right things control the speed of the animation. So the right makes it go faster. There you go.
So, right over Cape Cod, like I'm right here where the peninsula kind of starts, right?
Yeah.
It's super. They were talking about having. It looked like from the graphs that the warm front was perpendicular to the cold front, so it was kind of like this. Kind of like that. We had 2 cold fronts, like front to back. There was a cold front on the front of the storm, and there was one on the back of the storm. And a warm front was perpendicular to it. Like in this map, there was a warm front that came this way. It came from east, or it was going south to north, but it was converging over Massachusetts this morning. Like,
Yep. In fact,
yeah,
I got you.
Oh,
Here.
right on. So that's gonna make, you're gonna get some, what was it that, I'm struggling for the words, give me 1 second. That backflow, right? If you have them kind of converge like that, it's gonna, some of the air gets thrown off sideways, but some of it's gonna get rotation like this, right? You're gonna get.
Yeah, eventually what happens is as you get the air to swirl around, you start off with that warm cold front idea, but you'll notice there's a third color there, purple. That's what's known as an occluded front. Eventually, and that's what the Norwegian cyclone model is describing, you have this process where the air starts to swirl inward. Eventually, it closes off. So now you have that low pressure. You notice how those contours, those arrows, are completely circular?
Yeah.
It's a closed off low. So it's now sort of its own thing. And if we were to continue this evolution, you might see another area of low pressure form south of it as it continues to evolve in time.
So the occlusion gets bigger, and if the occlusion gets bigger, it can create more swirly boys.
It's not so much that. It
Okay.
will cut itself off and kind of detach from the parent storm.
Yeah.
And it is a... you'll notice that the southern part of that, where it's still the warm and cold front joining,
Yeah.
you'll start to see this process recycle and start over again there.
What the
Just because I see this in chat, I probably should have said this earlier. For what it's worth, I am not technically a meteorologist. I don't have a degree in atmospheric science, so I don't want to claim that title.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely educated, trained, and experienced in this. My work is more on the data side of things, but yeah, I can joust with the best of them when it comes to forecasting and general weather and severe weather.
So Animal has a good question. Is the purple neither cold nor warm? What is it? It's just...
It is what's known as an occluded front.
Yeah.
Is there... Thank you, Wikipedia. So there's the link for it.
Good when it comes to just basic science stuff.
It is. It gets a little complicated. It's been a while since I've had to explain the whole process.
It's part of cyclogenesis, so...
It is.
Cyclogenesis is forming the rotation, right? That's what that means, if I'm understanding that right? Yeah.
Yeah. If you go back to the that 4-panel for the Norwegian cyclone model where it shows that evolution, it starts off as almost no rotation. Hit the back button so you go back to the page.
Yeah.
You notice how it starts? Yeah, there's a little bit of a there's a little bit of rotation up there, but it's really not that much.
Yeah.
As this evolves, that tightens up. So you're forming that cyclone. Cyclogenesis is the term for that, yes.
How often does this happen, like on a daily basis?
This is exceptionally common.
Yeah.
This is just a very general process, but it happens everywhere. In fact, this came about during research in World War II. They were really advancing meteorology around that time because of, well, impacts of weather and war.
Yeah, and the Brits made radar, right? So you can get like Doppler radars and stuff, correct? Like I'd assume it came from there, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, radar is originally a military application, and then they started to realize that it picks up rain really well. And so the weather radars that we have are specialized for weather, of course.
Yeah, that's the Doppler style radar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Or as they call it up here, the Doppler.
The Doppler.
We have there's one in Taunton. It's actually not far from me. So it's actually super interesting. Whenever I watch the weather forecast in the morning, you see a lot of interpolation or like right around the radar because of the Doppler effect, which is funny to me. Like I understand that part, you know. Like,
yeah. The Doppler effect as like the audio, like when a train or a car passes, it's a great way to explain how the radar works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is... And rockets have to... I mean, they don't have to. I'm guessing you generally want to avoid launching a rocket during any type of cyclogenesis, if I'm understanding this right, because that's going to create faster wind speed, right? Your upper level winds will be way faster if it's spinning, right?
That's right. You want to stay away from the high winds and the wind shear.
That's bad.
This will never happen. But the weather geek in me would love to see a rocket launch from the eye of a hurricane. Because technically, you would have a window in there where it could, if the hurricane's shaped right, go straight up through the eye, avoid any real load-bearing wind, and just get out of the atmosphere. You'd never have the time, the accuracy, and the confidence to pull that trigger.
Yeah.
But man, would that be cool.
Yeah, that'd be freaking sick, dude. So, okay, I have another question. It pertains to aviation. So, like, they send out the National Weather Service, Coast Guard. They send out, and the Navy. They send out like P3 Orions and P8 Poseidons, right? Those are anti-submarine warfare. But they like if they're gonna fly one of those suckers into the storm, like into a hurricane, where would they go? Like, do they just fly right through the frigate? Let's go right into the rotation, frigate. We got to set off Dorothy. I know that's a truck, not a plane. But.
They fly right in. They fly right in. In fact, you'll notice a lot of these, like the C-130.
Yeah.
It's a prop plane. props are more stable in that kind of turbulence. There's some great videos on YouTube of the Hurricane Hunter aircraft going in and out of these storms. And it's... I gotta see if I can find one, because when you get them to come into the eye of the storm, and you just sort of see that stadium effect appear in front of you.
Oh, that must be the wildest thing ever, dude.
Oh, man, there's some great videos out there.
That would be something to see. Oh, dude, I think I got one. Here, hold up. This is from Global News.
Yeah.
This is into Irma. Okay, so this was well, relatively recent. This is coming from Nick Underwood in the NOA. It was reposted by Global News. Let me see. Let's get to the good stuff. And the winds are going to get violent once you get closer to the eye, right? Like that, because that's where it's moving the fastest, right?
It's the eye wall.
Yeah, okay.
Once you pass the eye wall and you get into the eye, things become calm.
That's... dude. Would you see a similar effect inside of, like, dead center of a funnel on a tornado, or is the tornado too small comparatively to the hurricane?
No. A, it's too small comparatively to the hurricane. B, it's an entirely different beast. In a tornado, the air is rising. In the eye of a hurricane, it's actually sinking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's okay. That's why they look like whirlpools.
Yep.
Huh. And tornadoes look like fun. What the frick? I never realized. Huh.
So you know how you get that swirl as you let the water out of a drain?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the flow speeds up?
Yeah.
That's what I mean about organizing the flow.
Dude, look at this. Look at what the frick. All right. Didn't realize I was gonna see this today, but I'm not upset.
There's some cool videos where they're going through the storms and you can see the lightning all around them. It's freaking crazy.
That's wild, dude. Yeah, they got Kermit on the dash. All right.
That's a turbulence monitor?
Yes. Yeah.
That's how they know which direction the aircraft is pointing?
Makes sense to me. Dude.
Muppet.
Well, you Muppet. Would you ride in that? In a P3? Into a storm? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, I would. That'd be fun.
Actually, dude, somebody asked me the other day about, like, why, like, is it bad if planes get struck by lightning? And I was like, it's not a big deal as long as the electricity has no place to go to. And then I actually did some reading about it. Planes inadvertently are Faraday cages, so the lightning just goes right around it, like kind of like a car. It just goes around it.
Exactly like a car. In fact, let me dispel the myth that the tires have anything to do to protect you from lightning. No. That's not it at all. No. The lightning will just burn straight through those tires. It's the fact that you have a cage around you. It's diffusing the electricity around you. Not like electricity is a conscious entity or anything, but it has no reason to go inside of those cages.
Path of least resistance.
Exactly.
Yeah. So wouldn't it arc to something else through the air before it went through the tires, right? Like, because there's more resistance that way. You'll find less resistance through the air in the right conditions, correct?
You could, but honestly, when you're talking about that much power, it's irrelevant. And then, right. if it puts your mind at ease, you're also probably wet, so you've got water on the tires, and it's not insulating.
Interesting. Here, check this out. I'm looking at ADSB, and because chat mentioned it, there's a November 927 November Alpha. NASA's out there looking at that hurricane with a WB-57. That's the same one they use to monitor rocket launches. It's out there. I believe they are. It's out. That's cool, man. That's freaking cool. What else is out there? Anything? Wait, what the heck is that? A Hawker? A 59 Hawker. What are those two doing? What are those two? What the hell? There's two Hawker Hunters out there flying in formation out near the hurricane. Huh.
Not sure what kind of plane that is.
It's British, old British fighter jet.
Oh. Well, that was unexpected.
Yeah, that's strange. But yeah, NASA's out there with the WB-57 monitoring it. Are there any P3? There's a P3 right there. Oh, that's CBP. That's that's a little different. That's not monitoring the hurricane. What else is out there? There's another. Yeah, there's another. There's 3 of them. Huh. Interesting. What else is out there? Oh, a UH-1Y. Nice. I'm trying to see if there's any other weather monitoring planes out there. There's a KC-135. That's probably for training or something.
Trying to find the data those planes are capturing.
Oh,
it'll look something like this. Basically, you just have a line of wind barbs showing you wind speed and direction. And what they'll do is they'll crisscross going in and out of the storm in different places at different times, maybe different altitudes, and they'll measure winds from the plane.
Huh.
They also do what are known as dropsons. So you know how we have weather balloons? They sense atmospheric properties going up.
Yeah.
They will drop something out of the plane to measure the same thing on the way down. So you get a vertical profile of the atmosphere, which is really important.
Well, yeah, you want to know where the pressure is, right? Like that'll tell you which way the air is going.
You want to get things like temperature, moisture, wind speed, and direction as they vary in the vertical.
Huh. Yep. As I expected, this is way more complicated than just a person telling you it's going to rain soon.
Okay. little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
There's a couple of things that go into this.
No, but it's aerodynamics at the end of the day. Like, it's not that far off. Same ideas.
Well, that's why there's a bunch of nerds in your chat, EJ. Is that it's all the same stuff in different flavors and varieties.
Yeah, no, that's why I dig it. It's cool. And
engines, planes, boats,
meteorology kind of, yeah, cranes, my guy.
Engineering.
Meteorology kind of scratches the same itch for the same reasons. It's how the air is moving. You know, it's just how it's just moving naturally. But it does scratch the same itch.
It absolutely does. There's always some fun mystery to solve. Like, why is that thing doing that? Yeah. How did that get there, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's wild. Yeah, okay, yeah, there's a company that just owns a bunch of British fighter planes. Okay, all right. All right, cool. Yeah. If I'm guessing with that WB-57, it's at 47,000 feet. Everything else is at 40,000. It looks like it's flying on the highway. There's a highway up here that looks like the highway that goes to Hawaii. Yes, it absolutely is. They're probably
that would make sense, yeah.
They're probably monitoring, doing what you're saying, pretty much on that highway to make sure that the hurricane doesn't like microburst a plane or something.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit less familiar with how this works over the Pacific, but over the States, you know, if there's impactful weather in like the middle of the country, there are several tiers of air traffic controllers that basically move the highway or tell the planes to hop onto a different highway to avoid the storms. So yeah. I don't know how it goes from Pacific, like the West Coast out to Hawaii. I'm not really sure how they do that. But I'd imagine it's more or less the same thing.
This is Weather Guy on the line, Hypersonic. He does meteorological things, and I had some questions about weather because, yeah, there's tornadoes in my state. Yeah, and I'm kind of wondering, excuse me, what the frick? You know, so I'm asking questions. Excuse me, that doesn't happen very often, but it's happened 4 times this summer already. That's good. I'm sure that's fine. I'm not gonna read too much into that.
Nah. Don't read too much into that.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It looks like it's pretty much over for you, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that thing went by. It's just damp.
Yep. That'll happen.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, you know what? If you're around when I'm covering a rocket launch, I might have you, Weather Guy. I might have you jump in here.
Dude, I'm down.
All right.
I'm down.
All right. Cool. Well, when's the next one, actually? That the Starlink one that's supposed to go out of Vandenberg. That's not happening anytime soon. There's this, that whole hurricane thing that we're looking at right now.
Next launch right now?
That's old. Hey, Luke, 49 months. Yeah, anyway, we'll jump into KSP in a second here, dudes. I just wanted to... Yeah, Tuesday is... Yeah, so Starlink 611... Or no, not Starlink. It's 7-1 out of Vandenberg. That got moved to Tuesday.
2 in the AM.
Yeah. I think... Okay, I might be stupid here, so... While I have you on the line, I think that the Starlink launches are launching more at night. Obviously because of orbital mechanics and stuff, but I think they're trying to target the night corridors because the weather seems to be a little calmer around the recovery areas at night, I think.
That would make sense.
Does that read?
One of the biggest driving factors of our weather is the sun. So when the sun rises, it heats things up. Hot stuff wants to rise. When the sun sets, the atmosphere starts to cool down. The surface starts to cool down.
Yeah.
And so that activity starts to subside, generally speaking, yeah.
This is wild, man. We should do a deep dive on this someday.
Heck yeah.
We should get into it. Cool. Anyway, man, thank you for your time. I do appreciate it, Weather Guy.
Absolutely, anytime.
All right, brother. Be good.
Later.
Well, that's not something I was expecting to do today, but hey, sweet. That's what I mean about going with the flow. You kind of just have to roll with it, you know? Teal 77, registration 965300, south of Baja, entering the hurricane. Let's see. So, that's down here somewhere.